Everybody, today we have a pretty interesting league track to break down for you guys right here in Mad Skills Motocross 3. The track this week is called Work Zone, and it's pretty interesting. It's got some technical features. So you see me just running through the run here, but we're going to break it down in slow-mo and kind of talk about what we're doing to help you guys get where you need to go. This is not by any means a perfect run, but it'll help you kind of understand what you could do to maybe make your run a little bit better. So without further ado, let's break it down. So off the start here, there's a few things you can do. You can actually bunny hop up and over this and backside that, but then you have to kind of bump over this next roller and it ends up being slower. So go ahead and wheel tap off of this over the roller. And then what I've noticed is pretty consistent for me is to scrub this tabletop. And what that allows you to do is to really downside this part right here. I actually still went a little bit long, not too bad though. And then a lot of people will try to slow down and scrub into this wall jump, and you can actually go a lot lower than what I did. Just let it play through here. What I like doing, which works pretty good for me, and I was still able to get a reasonable time, is I will go to about here, full throttle, let off, and then so I'm coasting essentially right through here, and then I lean forward into the jump right there and tap the throttle, but then let off again. And that still puts me, a bike or two lower than normal. But what it also allows me to do is get really good backside right here. And that gives me really good drive forward over the step down, which allows me to get into this pocket right here, where a lot of times, if you scrub, you'll come up short slightly, or you'll go slightly long, and then you just don't get a good drive. And if you can't land in this pocket here, you're going to have a hard time getting onto this box car smoothly, and you're not going to get very many attempts. So I would recommend doing that. It usually works out pretty similar. And once you can get that, you can land smooth here, which will allow you to land smooth on top. And you want to keep your back wheel kind of flat, even with your front, until the very last second, and then really load it up and try to get that back wheel tap bounce, because this gap right here is pretty big. So you do want to try to gap over this, but you can't do it prematurely. See right here, I'm still flat, essentially. But then you got to give it everything you've got. Even with that, I barely made it. So assuming you land smoothly here, you could just go right off of this first bump of the dragon's back, wait for a minute, and then go into a scrub. You don't want to hit this top piece here, this top of the dragon back, because you'll go way too high. Get back on the ground through here, bounce your way back down. Now here's where things get a little bit tricky. You do want to try to get a slightly better bounce here, because what you'll see is I didn't, and then I bounced there, and then I get no bounce here, case into this wooden thing, then I bounce again, then I bounce again, and now I'm not getting on top of the buildings properly. So you can actually offset that mistake by probably trying to wheel tap this middle roller a little bit more than what I did, and that'll line you up a lot better. I just kind of forced my way through the building section here. Then the same kind of thing right here could be said. You want to make sure you get some bounce off of this, which I still came up a little bit short. But if you let this thing throw you, you're going to really struggle to get over this triple, because you could see even I struggled to get over it. And if you can't get over the triple good, you're not going to jump into this whip section very good, and you can lose a lot of time through here. I actually lost some time myself. Not the best run, but I was able to still have enough speed to clear that. And then I got a little bit lucky here because I got bounced into this wheelie, and it worked out pretty good because I was able to wheel tap off of this rock all the way over. What I would do in a normal situation, I would just skim these rocks, and then right here, as I hit the second to last rock, I would scrub and miss this top one, because what you need to do is land in this valley right here, jump across, and then that way you can carry momentum. If you just go off the dragon's back, then you kind of smack into this roller and then smack into that roller, and it's kind of over at that point. Then through the water and up and onto the finish line. I wouldn't recommend trying to scrub that because you'll probably crash. And that will get you a 47.4, but you could definitely get faster. Like I said, I made some mistakes. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure that you subscribe if you're not already. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.